morning, AMHQ.
Zesty work.
Zesty.
Zesty work.
We're feeling zesty.
Absolutely. Hey, folks, good morning. Today is Saturday, November 21st. I'm Reynolds Wolf.
And I'm Kait Parker. We are keeping an eye on Winter Storm Bella, this quick-moving system, leaving some pretty big impacts. In fact, Sioux Falls, South...
There you go. That was a promo, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
Hey, look at this. We've got Bella. There it is, flexing its muscles, rain in some places. But what we're seeing is really a travel nightmare for a lot of folks there, Kate.
Oh, yes. I mean, all the way down to I-70, we're having travel problems. But this, you know, sometimes we talk about high pressure being our friend. It's going to be our enemy as far as cold weather is concerned because we have a lot of it that's making its way all the way into the southern plains.
Absolutely. And as that comes crashing down, take a look at the boom we're going to be seeing out towards the west. Plenty of sunshine. Ooh. Fantastic, but possibly breezy conditions in Los Angeles. Fire dangers could be a possibility in a lot of places in the San Joaquin Valley.
This just looks terrible to me.
Yeah, it's chock full of the ugly.
We've got Mike Seidel there who's just waking up. We're going to get with him in just a little bit.
Hey, let's take a look at some of the cities that are going to be in.
So take a look at this. With our winter storm warnings where those exist, all the way from Des Moines to Chicago, that stretch there. It reaches up into Madison and Milwaukee, but just north of there you go into winter weather advisory rather than a winter storm warning. Davenport, ooh, you're just getting slammed this morning as well. Notice all of Michigan getting into this action as well. Look at what's happening. These darker areas of blue, just tremendous snowfall rates. And see how it moved through the night? Stretched across Iowa, now making its way and just consistently snowing in Chicago. Peoria, you're kind of on the line. You know, you were in that rain mix, and now you've transferred over into snow as those temperatures dropped overnight, and you've got a lot of cold air behind this. So once the cold air moves in, you're not going to see raindrops. You're sticking with the snow. Here's Dubuque. Oh, just to your south, lots of snow there. Along 88, you're going to have some tremendous travel problems. I would just go ahead and say, stay at home. Whatever your Saturday plans were, it's not safe to be out driving from Cedar Rapids all the way to Chicago. I mean, it's just not. Rockford, you're also getting slammed up into Madison. Madison, you're starting to get into the lighter snowflakes, fortunately, kind of the tail end of some of this moisture. But this is a significant system. And you'll notice that it's stretching now into South Bend, Notre Dame. You're getting the snow. And look at some of the heavier stuff starting to move into Gary as well. And then we go into Detroit, and you have snow as well. Snow for everybody with this winter storm. Lansing, no travel here, especially if you're going to Detroit or vice versa, because this is going to be dangerous commuting. If you're heading to Toledo north, 275, big problem for you there. 94, a big problem as well. As you can see, 75 also getting its fair share of snow. Cleveland, you're kind of in that mix on that rain-snow line right now, Reynolds. Hey, look at this. This morning, you're actually having your warmest temperature, right? 53 degrees. We're even a little warmer than that right now. But as the sun comes up, the temperatures actually go down, and they're going to stay in the 40s for a majority of your afternoon. Maybe late afternoon we get into the low 50s. But that's it. That's where you're topping out. That's much colder than what you felt recently. And into Monday, it gets even colder. And that's thanks to all that cold air being released to the south. That's thanks to the big dip in the jet stream. Whenever it dips this far south, the polar jet, that just basically is like opening up the fence and being like, come on through to all the cattle, right? That's what happens. Clearly, I grew up in the suburbs of Texas, not out in the country. But into Monday, you'll notice highs are 10 to 20 degrees below average all the way from Dallas to Raleigh and then Chicago. You're just like a tundra right now, so you know it's going to be cold there. Wichita, Kansas, 34 degrees right now. Oklahoma City, 39. But look at that. 58 in Dallas. Look at Amarillo, 27. Denver's only 12. The good news is that this cold blast doesn't last too long. You saw how amplified the jet is. Well, we're going to get back into that jet escaping back up to the north and letting the warmth come back in again pretty soon. But the winds, oh my. Talking about the winds on the plains, 37 miles an hour was your latest wind gust in Wichita, Kansas. Oklahoma City, 43. So get ready, skirt alert for you all today. And then as you get into the Metroplex, I know it may not be windy this morning, but this afternoon, that's all going to change. 13 degrees below average today in Oklahoma City. Dallas, 9 degrees below average. Little Rock, 9 degrees below average. And even Shreveport, 6 degrees below average this afternoon. So it continues tomorrow, Reynolds.
Yeah, the cold air is certainly a huge story, but the wind's strong like bull.
Strong like a bull. Freezing overnight. The ground still has plenty of warmth in it, so that it likely is going to keep the roadways not quite as bad as they could be, but it's not worth the risk. Absolutely not worth the risk, right? 29 degrees currently. Snow kind of dwindling down a little bit in Des Moines, right? let's take a look at Cedar Rapids because it's really coming down there. In fact, look at your forecast in Des Moines. You're going to see the temperatures fall once the snow stops. So maybe you want the snow to keep going because it's at least going to keep your temperatures close to 30. This afternoon and early this morning, you're going to be down close to 20 degrees. At least it's going to be sunny, but you still are going to see frozen patches because, again, the temperatures are going to stay very, very cold. Chicago still getting slammed. I know we keep talking about Chicago. We know there's all the way south through Peoria that we're getting a lot of the snow right now. Springfield's still in the rain. Look at Fort Wayne, Indiana, getting lots of snow, and into Detroit as well. Lansing, Michigan, you're going to have a tough morning commute to boot. And if you're driving along any of these, 94, 75, 80, you're going to have some significant travel problems today. And I know that there's a lot of college football games and folks that are trying to get out to them and get going, like Northwestern versus Wisconsin. Yeah, what's that game going to look like? Not so good. Lots of snow coming down. So if you're trying to travel to the game, please be careful. Seriously, guys, this is not easy travel weather. And I know that in Wisconsin, you're like, I'm used to the snow. It's been a minute, right? It's been since last winter since you've seen this kind of snow, so please be careful. And it's going to be incredibly cold during the game. At 2:30 this afternoon, your high going to be in the 30-degree range, so you're staying below freezing. And then on top of that, the winds out of the northwest, it is going to be bitter cold, and then you've got the snow on the ground to boot. Definitely lots of layers, hot hands. I say a good bet today. Put those in your gloves, in your boots, anywhere you can. Clemson, still chilly, actually. Great football weather, though. A little cloudy. Wake Forest, this is against Clemson Tigers. They're #1. We'll see how Wake Forest does. That's until about 55 degrees is what you can expect. Wind's going to be nice and calm for you today at 3:30 in the afternoon. How about this game? Oxford, Mississippi. It's LSU versus Ole Miss. That's a big game, right? A little bit of that shower action possible this afternoon, especially kickoff at 2:30. By 4, we could see a couple raindrops, so be prepared for that. Might want to bring the poncho with you just in case. And then in Miami, at the U, it's Georgia Tech going down to South Florida. And hey, big surprise, thunderstorms in the forecast. Who would have thought in South Florida, Reynolds? Let's keep you safe. Stay off the road. If you don't have a choice and you have to drive, it's always important to say, okay, what is my braking distance? We follow too closely. Everyone does. Follows too closely to the car in front of you. You really, really have to keep this down whenever you've got any snow on there at 70 miles an hour. On a dry road, sure, you can stop pretty quickly, but you can take over a football field stopping distance whenever you start getting a little bit closer. Okay, so you may not become visible, things in front of you, until you're past the minimum braking distance, especially when that snow is falling. That increases the danger. It's not just your tires, it's how far you can see, and you're not going to be able to stop in time. So please, please, please keep yourself and your family safe as you travel.